Well, let's do a little zoom on this. It's uh, it's pretty much ready to come upstairs with me. You know, again, I just did this painting for myself for the fun of it. I wanted to keep things quite gestural. I'm allowing a lot of the wash-in, the staining of the canvas to show through. And I didn't want to worry too much about details, you know. I just didn't want to do it. I won't zoom in. I won't zoom in too much on this now because I don't need to go over everything individually, I don't think. You can see there we've got a combination of ultramarine blue and burnt sienna and ultramarine blue and yellow ochre in a few spots just to emphasize some green. Put a few indications of tree trunks and branches here and there. But, you know, kept it pretty coarse. Okay. Let me just back out of here. Okay. So, as you can see, the sky has become organized. I've changed a few things. This big fluffy ball of bluish gray cotton has been removed. It looks a little more like a cloud, and another, you know, some filaments of cloud here as well, moving from left to right across the sky. We have a little bit of driven rain, just indicated pretty roughly. Nice variety of color, I think. We've used pretty much our whole palette on the sky here, except for our cads. No cadmiums. Actually, there are no cadmiums. There are no cadmiums used in this painting at all. Wanted to keep this still quite a silhouette, mostly a silhouette. I think that's been okay. I was tempted to put more highlights on these rocks. Tempted to put more highlights on the water in places. That might take place in the water, but it will only be 4 knife strokes at most, and they will not be as high a value as we have up here. Again, this is really our focal area. This might be our focal point. This is our focal area. I wanted to keep this fairly unimportant, and we can't have this huge powerful sky with all that movement in it, and then have a silly little overly detailed tiny foreground that frankly, on average, if you were to flatten these trees out, I don't think you're even a third of the way up the canvas. So we won't worry about that. I want to keep this unimportant. I keep being tempted to lay more in here, but I think it'd be a bad idea, just for the strength of the painting in general. Now, rule breaking. The single most important tree, of course, is this one, and it is pretty much dead center, reinforced by a trunk, the highest chroma trunk. Dead center. And I'm going to leave it be. I'm still happy with it. Because what happens to me, in general, when I view the painting is, I look at this first, and I go here a little bit, and then I go here. This is really what I find more interesting. This is all supportive. So it helps to pull the focal point to the right. Enough that I think it gives forgiveness for the fact that this arrow is pointing from the bottom to the top, dead center in the painting. So, to my view, in my taste, that is an example of breaking the rules and getting away with it. Not sure what else really to say. I decided to leave this spit of land. It could be interpreted as a very distant shore, although the storm isn't that far away. you know, or a spit of land coming off of these rocks. A person can look at it any number of ways. But it's about the painting. As long as it falls within the reason of possibility, or yeah, reasonable possibility or plausibility, it works very well with the painting itself. I like continuing this line straight across here. I like the design in general of carrying it on, but also, if I had just continued with these colors down into the water, and not had something here, this mass would have become very strong because of the weight up here, and it would have pushed into the water, and I didn't feel that the water, that this mass of land here, mass of land, I keep making it sound like massive land, but no, just this mass of land, in my opinion, would begin to feel like it was floating. It would become too ethereal. It wouldn't stay solid enough. So that's why I decided to lay that in there. Interpret it how you will. Yeah, I may still lay just not these values, but maybe a stroke or two of these values even, just down here, or maybe just another stroke or two of the blue. But I like it. It's loose. It's what I was after. Covered it in one go. I was very happy about that. It's dry enough now because there's so much raw umber in this painting that virtually the whole thing has a skin on it. So any more painting that I do on it now, any more paint that I lay over, will have to deal with the texture of the paint that was under it. Yesterday I could still go into it for a bit. Was that yesterday or was that Saturday? Yeah, today's Monday. Yeah, okay, so Saturday. Saturday night I could still go into it and do a bit, but I realized that what I did not commit to on Saturday, I would have to wait until today to start to play in, because I don't paint Sundays. Now, so I'm still allowed to, like, this will come upstairs and live with me for a while. I can still go into this, like, over top of the paint that has a skin on it already. I will know within 2 or 3 days, which is well within the window of good workmanship, to lay more paint over it, and deal with a bit of texture that's on the underpainting or on the painting itself. And if I have to, I'll use a rescue brush, and I'll just, if I'm afraid that my knife is going to skip over bumps when I'm laying more paint on, I'll use the brush, which will go around the bumps and you won't see little voids where the paint is missed. And if I really need to make it look like I didn't use a brush, I'll just go over what I've brushed on with a knife. Not too much, because you don't want to overkill the color while it's on the painting. So that's a bit of a cheat sheet tip there. Anyway, I like this. We're going to get on to another 16 by 20. Auf Wiedersehen. Sayonara. Sayonara. Tot ziens. Stuff, bye.